What's going on, everyone? So yesterday's game was an absolute dumpster fire. That's not how you expected or wanted to see the Lakers ball out. Now, I don't think it's Chicken Little, the sky is falling or anything like that. It's one game. It is game one. LeBron notoriously is known for losing game ones. Lakers, even in their 2020 run, lost game one in every round, I believe, except for the finals, right? I know definitely Portland, Houston, and then I believe they lost it to Denver. Now, obviously, this isn't the 2020 team, right? Minnesota has some concerns. It's what I talked about. It's why I wanted to play the Warriors over Minnesota, but that's neither here nor there. Point is, this was not a good game, right? By any stretch. Now, I don't want to undersell this game because it is concerning, right? But I also don't want to overblow game one, right? Talk about all the time the pendulum swing. Right, we need to stay kind of more even keel. Now, if Lakers lose game two, then we're having a very different conversation. But Lakers losing game one, especially in the manner in which they did, right? There's some clear issues. There's some clear things that you need to address and clean up. But you also had a team that shot the absolute lights out, made 21 of 42 threes. Look, Minnesota, top 10 offense, top 10 defense, 21 of 42 threes. I don't know if they're going to do that again. Two, you had basically no one else but Luka show up offensively. LeBron James had his struggles offensively. Austin Reeves had his struggles offensively. Both guys need to be more aggressive, particularly in this series, right? Lakers don't have the luxury of taking quarters or possessions or games off, right? Look at a team like Boston last year. Right? Boston lost game ones, right? Boston lost games that they shouldn't have lost, but Boston was so good, particularly in the Eastern Conference, that they were able to just turn it on and just essentially just run through the opposing team, right? Lakers don't have that. Lakers already have so many flaws, so many holes, so many issues that they don't have the luxury of like, hey, we can just have a dud game, right? Talked about even going into this game, there's probably going to be some learning curves. Probably going to be a couple hiccups, right? Lakers might lose a playoff game or two that they shouldn't have lost, right? You could justify and argue, the blowout, right? Look at the circumstances, but regardless, Lakers shouldn't have lost to this manner, right? You let a team show up in your home court and they just blitzed you start to finish. It wasn't even a contest, right? You were up in the first quarter and that was basically it. You gave up a 26-6 run. You're not winning very many games like that, but that's been a big concern that I've had, right? Those that are familiar with me here, and then as it stands Lakers, and you've heard me even say the same thing last year, what happens when the offense dries up a little bit? What happens when you're not scoring the basketball at the rate that you need to? Right? Are you going to be able to get the stops necessary to not get blown out? And you saw it in the Denver series, and you just saw it yesterday in the Minnesota series, right? Now, again, it's one game. Clean it up, fix it up. I expect LeBron to be better, Austin Reeves to be better, right? Players in general have to be better. I talked about it. Guys need to hit shots. We got to come up with the effort and energy. You can't have all these holes and all these issues. And then on top of it, not bring the effort necessary to try to compensate for that, right? Lakers played and had a lackluster performance. We're getting outworked, out-hustled, on top of they have so many disadvantages, right? You have to be able to mask your disadvantages and take advantage of the advantages that you have. Minnesota did a better job of masking their disadvantages and taking advantage of the advantages that they have. Lakers need to do a better job of that. They got to stop overcompensating and overhelping on the defensive side of things. If Anthony Edwards drops 40 a game and you win, who cares? Right? But you can't let, Naz Reid and Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Jaden McDaniels beat you. Right? You can't have, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, right, come off the bench and essentially outperform your entire bench. Same thing with Naz Reid. Oh, and then Jaden McDaniels was like their best player. Right? Like, you could argue and trust Jaden McDaniels not going to play that way again. Like, he might not score 25 again at the rest of the playoffs, right? Let alone in this series. But Still, I mean, when you're leaving guys just wide open, as concerning as Minnesota can be shooting the basketball at times, you look at Minnesota and it's like they do have guys that if you just leave wide open can hit the shot, right? Anybody in the NBA, if you leave wide open enough, is going to have some good shooting nights. So, right? So Lakers need to do a better job, but that's the problem with the mismatch is that the Lakers are so worried about their interior size, so worried about them dominating on the interior that they're basically giving up and conceding threes and hoping that they don't shoot the lights out like they did. Well, when Minnesota shoots the lights out like they did, guess what? You're losing all those games. Now the question is, can Minnesota do that 4 times? Because if they can, the Lakers are going home. All right? But guys need to be better. Again, Austin Reeves needs to be better. All right? I don't want to get too on him. It's one game, right? But we've seen him have his playoff struggles. We've seen him, particularly last season, was not great in the playoffs. The Warriors series 2 seasons ago during his emergence, right? He had his issues. Right? So again, Minnesota is a team that they can beat us, right? Talked about it very heavily. I still believe and trust that the Lakers win this series. I talked about the Lakers winning. If they won both home games, I think that they won in 5. If they split it, I think they win in 6. So I still think Lakers win it in 6. But this is a team that if you take lightly is going to send you home, right? And we just cannot. Again, the Lakers are not good enough to have the performance that we saw in that game. Lakers are not good enough to be able to just say, you know what? Even despite all of our issues, we're just going to kind of coast. Right? Lakers aren't good enough to have these feel it out games. Because even if they get through Minnesota, right? You have another figure it out game, feel it out game against a team like Houston or the Warriors, right? Eventually that's going to catch up to you. Whether it's this round, the second round, the conference finals, or the NBA finals. You have that figure it out, fill it out game. Eventually, somebody is going to catch up. Somebody is going to beat you. Lakers have to, and I'm not saying that they have to be, can't lose a game in the playoffs, right? I didn't expect the Lakers to go 16-0, but still, you can, it's one thing to lose a game. It's another thing to just get completely dominated and ran out your own gym, right? That to me is inexcusable. That to me cannot happen. Losses happen. You have a tight game, a couple key mistakes or whatever down the stretch, something that you can kind of write off, clean up, and you're good. Fine, that's one thing. But to essentially nearly start to finish get just ran through, Lakers can't have that. You just can't afford it. Lakers aren't good enough. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Phil, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. Lets me enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.